Hello. Well, I thought that I would do a few more little reviews of some of the bits of kit I have for my guitar, and this is one of them. I'm going to hopefully go through this incredibly cheap value guitar from Vintage, which obviously is a Strat copy. I'm hopefully going to get time to do this one too, which is a bit more expensive. Not expensive though really, an Ibanez FR420, and also have a look at the amp I use, which is a Cub12, get it right, it's a Cub12 from Laney. But first of all, let's go and have a look at this Strat copy from Vintage. It's called a V6. This particular model has been discontinued. They do a red one with a maple neck now, I believe, maple fingerboard. But this one has just gone out of fashion. It's just been taken off their website, and I seem to get one of the last ones that was hanging around some music shop up north, and they were selling it really nice and cheap for me. And for the cost I paid for it, which was about £115 with packaging, this was an absolute steal. So all the usual things about the Strat type guitar. Has its tremolo, which I just never use. I've not even screwed it on, so I've had no use for that. You're not going to get any information on that from me. You've got 3 single coil pickups as usual. You've got your selector pickup up here, pickup selector even, 5-way, volume, and 2 tone controls, and where your lead plugs in. Now the tone controls, I understand on a old style Strat, this tone would do the neck pickup and this tone would do the middle pickup, but this isn't wired that way. It's done a slightly different way, which lots of people prefer, I think. I certainly do, which is this tone control does this pickup, but this one does the bridge pickup instead of the middle pickup, which is very useful, and we'll get onto it when we have a listen to it in a minute. Rosewood fingerboard, standard kind of thing. The other headstock, except it says Vintage instead of Fender or whatever you would like it to say. Its colour here, I don't know if you can pick it up so much, it's not a kind of candy red kind of colour, it's a faded orangey kind of red, which is much nicer, kind of vintage kind of type colour. I don't know if you can see, that's an IKEA chair there, IKEA Poang. It looks very similar on this video, so I don't think it'll show up, but it's a bit more orangey, a bit more muted, which is quite nice. The other thing to say about this guitar, as it came in a box, is its amazing action. I really still don't know whether you're going to get that, but it's not in focus. Come on, come in focus. There you go. There you can see it at 12th fret, at the 12th fret there. There is no buzz anywhere on this, which is amazing given how low the setup is. Really nice action. The neck is really quite nice. I mean, its action is better than any other guitar I've owned, which isn't super expensive ones, but it's a fair few. And this had the best setup, and it was the cheapest. C-type neck, one-piece maple, bolt-on, screws at the back to get into the back strap, all the usual kind of things. So let's go and plug her in. So as I said, we're going into the Cub12 from Laney, which I really like as an amp. And now we have plugged it in, we'll put it down. Apologies for the mess in the room. So hopefully you can see something other than my knee. Hopefully you can see that there. This could get a bit dodgy, let's hope not. Okay, so when I turn the volume up, first thing you'll notice is there is some hum. Single core pickups are brilliant at picking up 60 cycle hum, and this has got plenty of it. And you'll notice when I touch the strings, oh, it softens down a little bit. So there are some electronic issues with this guitar as it's come to me. Nothing that can't be fixed or that you have to live with anyway, given that single coils. but that's a little bit of a shame. So let's start with the pickup on the neck pickup. Now, the other thing to notice about this guitar is these single coils aren't very hot. They're not very loud pickups. So with every other guitar I've used on this amp, then you have to have the gain at about 3 on the control there, and then you're getting a bit of light crunch, light distortion with a decent clean if you kind of don't pick too hard. On this, if you have it on gain on 3 and drive it as hard as you can, you're really still not going to get anything particularly crunchy. Neck pickups I tend to like, really. Lovely kind of thing, really. I'm just making random sounds here. Yeah, I suck at guitar. I know you're all thinking that. So, that's the neck pickup. Now, given that you're just hearing this through a camera and probably earphones, or who knows what you're listening to, you're not really going to get the full sense of what it sounds like. But it sounds stratty, really. Neck pickup. Now the next slot you'll hear is a bit quieter because it's these two pickups put together, which has a really different character. It's not particularly any louder. If the noise is getting too much for me on the other positions, I'll go for this, but I won't generally use that tone. Now the middle pickup, it really is actually probably my favourite of the sounds on this Strat. It's the only one that really, even with some gain, can actually sound particularly good. Let's just play a bit. You're starting to get a little bit of a sense that it's driving it a bit harder. I will show you a bit more of that with the distortion up, with the gain up, in a minute. But first, let's go on to the next section. Now this is the classic position of middle and bridge, which is typically on a Strat, that quacky sound, and this is no different, really. You get the sense. Bridge. Now this is where we really need to listen to it. As you go from neck pickup down to bridge pickup, then you're getting more treble because you're hearing the strings where they're vibrating in smaller details, if you like. Goodness me, that's an awful explanation, sorry about that. But you get more treble on the bridge than you will on the neck. And it's really quite trebly, this one. And if you're using particular sounds on an amp that sound really great for your neck pickup and your middle pickup, what you will find is on the bridge pickup it's just too much. Now at the moment I've got all the tone turned up to 10. So letting everything through, but I would really recommend just backing off the tone on the bridge pickup just that little bit, to maybe 7, 8 or something like that, and you just get a nicer sound, really. It's just too trebly. You can't really tell, for me, if that's really coming through, if you can really hear. the difference between that and that. But it's definitely noticeable when you're using it live and trying to switch between these different sounds. So let's just hear it with the gain a bit up. So far it's just been gain on 3 on the amp, and it's pretty much been completely clean. If we up it up to about 5, starting to get a little bit of break up. That's the bridge pickup. Now, what I was saying before, the middle pickup seems to sound the best when you're using a bit of gain. It's got a real full punchy sound for a single coil. Compare that with the neck. And the bridge. I keep dropping my pick. Those are both quite weak compared to the middle pickup. Now, you're really not buying a Strat copy if you want your big heavy sounds. So I've tried to show you a bit more of the clean, slightly crunchy stuff. But let's just hear what happens if you put the gain up a bit more. Let's go up to about 3 o'clock on that. Really hearing that noise now. Now, if you don't know the Laney Cub, you don't know why it's sounding like that particularly. But let's just put it this way. I've really struggled with this Strat to get this Strat copy, I should say. It's V6 Vintage Reissued series. I've struggled getting it to really sound properly dirty. So if you're doing stuff that really requires metal and stuff like this, this isn't the guitar for you. It's a lovely guitar, I love it. It's a bargain, an absolute bargain, but it's not the one that's going to get you really heavy sounds. I've used various dirt pedals to try and dirt it up, and only one has really kind of given me a sound I like at all, and it's still not like really, it's not mega distorted, saturated, great kind of metal kind of sound. It's just hard rock, heavy rock kind of thing. You can just about get that far, but this isn't the guitar you want if you want to do that. But as I say, an amazing action on the neck, really playable. There is a good variety in the different sounds you can get from the various pickups selections. If you're a guitarist who needs a bit of variety for when you're playing live, you don't want to be pressing down on a whole ton of stomp boxes while you're playing, because you're also singing, also doing other things, and you just want a quick switch for something a little bit different to go to a solo or something like this. This is a really nice guitar to have. It's a really good guitar if you are not really a Strat person but interested in the Strat and seeing if it adds something to your collection. Great guitar, particularly I'd say for if you're going to do some recording in a studio, you don't have anything that's Stratty. This will give you some nice Strat sounds. It's definitely, I'm very happy with it. It'll get you those kind of sounds that you're not going to get from a double humbucker type guitar. I really recommend it. Ask me if you've got any questions, and if you need to hear something in particular, then I can try and do that if you ask me in the comments. But there you go, ask me any questions. Bye.